Hi, welcome to Mr. Haramu's art class. Art by definition is a skill acquired by experience, study, or observation. In terms of fine art or visual art, many people have the opinion that all fine art is visual art. Visual art consists of art forms that create works that are primarily visual in nature. There is also performing arts. My time here will be focused on visual arts. I will teach you and your friends some basics on how to create simple forms of visual art, such as drawing, illustrating, painting, sketching, and coloring. This will be done using the elements of art which include line, form, shape, space, texture, value, and color.
Okay, let's learn how to draw. The first thing you need to do when drawing is find something that inspires you, a subject, something in your house, something outside your house. This can also be a photograph. In my example today, I'm using a photograph of some sunflowers I took outside. What you first want to do is draw in shapes. It's important to get the basic layout and composition of the subject that you're drawing by using shapes and line. This is a simple or rough sketch that I like to call a tick-off drawing. Make sure to keep it simple and have fun. Once you have the basic shapes down, then you can start adding details. To do this, start bringing in smaller shapes, more granular shapes of the drawing. Start refining the lines. This is when you really take a look at your drawing and make sure that you're drawing what you see versus what you perceive. Now that you have the basic sketch down, you can start adding details. This is the time to start cleaning up your drawing and erasing unwanted lines. But there are a few things you need to look at before you proceed with your drawing or illustration. Let's take a look at angles. There are two types of angles that you want to be aware of. First is the angles between different parts of the subject. So from flower to flower, from stem to flower, from other pieces of the composition to the flower. The orange lines I'm making in the example are for demonstration purposes only. You do not want to draw these lines. These angles help verify the accuracy of your drawing. So you look at your subject and check those angles, and then you cross-reference that or look at your paper drawing and make sure they're similar or the same. The other type of angle is the angles of the flower itself. In this example, the orange lines demonstrate the relationship between the different parts of the subject. The red lines demonstrate the angles of the subject itself, in this case, the stems and leaves. I'm going to go ahead and check the angles of the petals as well. Similar to angles, horizontal lines can help you compose your artwork. Lining up different parts of your composition horizontally can help you better refine your drawing. Notice how different pieces of your artwork line up horizontally, as in the example with orange lines. Do the same vertically. The next step in the process, and probably one of the most important pieces of your drawing, is figuring out negative and positive space. This is the shape of the subject and the space absent of the subject. hence negative and positive space. The positive space, or the shape of the subject, is represented in green, and the negative space is represented with the red background. When looking at positive and negative space, look at the small details or the small shapes in between different crevices of your subject. See this represented here with the orange drawing. This is the negative space. Seeing these different pieces of your drawing helps you bring your composition together for a really awesome end product that you can be proud of. For my illustration, I'm using Adobe Draw, which is part of the Adobe Creative Cloud suite. The first step in this illustration process is to ink the drawing. There are many types of illustrations. This includes woodcutting, metal etchings, pencil, charcoal, lithography, watercolor, gouache, acrylics, collage, pen and ink, and 3D, amongst others like this one, which is a digital illustration. I'm using a digital tool, but at home you can use a regular pen. You can also use a Sharpie or any other black marker that you have. This is the fun part of your illustration. You want to take your time and get your lines right. Now it's time to clean up your canvas by erasing any leftover marks from your sketch. You want a clear canvas with clean ink lines ready to color. Coloring your artwork depends on what type of medium you're using. In this case, I'm using a digital format, so I can use any color I want and it's fully editable. Typically when using paint, watercolor, gouache, or any other type of marker, you want to start with light colors, medium colors, dark colors. Then you do lightest light and darkest dark. So light, medium, dark, lightest light, darkest dark colors. This allows you to layer colors so you can bring out the value in your artwork. Let's start adding the medium and dark colors to the flower. Now let's add those medium greens. When coloring your artwork, you can make the choice to color all your lights, and that means all the lights for the different colors you have in your artwork. So in my case, it's the brown, it's the yellow, and it's the green. In this illustration, I chose to do it by color, so I did all the light, medium, darks per color. So I started with the brown, then I did the yellow, now I'm doing the green. Working digitally allows me to quickly add a blue background. So on this final piece, I'm going to add all the lightest lights for all my colors. I decided not to add any more dark colors or darkest darks. I think the composition works really well as is. Now for the most satisfying part. You get to put your stamp of approval or signature on your artwork. Your artwork is now complete. Congratulations!